you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football.
Okay, Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Southern California and the newly named Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Chargers' all-time passing leader, Phillip Rivers, who's been their starter since 2006, trotting onto the field. And I'll tell you what, he may be just a couple of years from 40, but he can still do it. You look back to 2018, some people were whispering MVP and Rivers in the same breath with what he did in that campaign. Especially impressive in 2 December primetime victories, one against the Steelers, one against the division rival Chiefs. And although things ended not quite how they wanted in the playoffs to New England, Phillip Rivers still feels like he has a lot left in the tank. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Rivers. Allen's got it over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Rivers, caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field.
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. They'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at him with another momentum play. Go quickly and attack him because
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Cook, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Travis Benjamin and the rest of the troops heading back out there now on offense. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know.
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Cousins now from the 50. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the 2nd time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns. And that was only in 12 games played a season ago. He also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25. And 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Rivers throws complete to Benjamin. Give him 14 on that one to get a first down. Rivers now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Here's Rivers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They start the drive with Cook, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw is Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Complete to Stephon Diggs. Again, 13 yards. First down.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Cousins gives way to Cook and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Come on, fellas.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cook. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now Cousins. That's complete right around the 8. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. picked up by Thomas Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Following the interception here, Rivers. This complete to Henry over the middle. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
390, 180. Check. Watch 54. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Now Gordon on first down. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter. Number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, come on, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Cousins now. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Melvin Gordon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. One more game still to get to in Week 15. It comes up tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. A lot of Manning fingerprints on this one, the Colts and the Saints from New Orleans. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. A loss of 2 there, second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
And out now come the Vikings. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing is Cousins. Looking up here with Trent Taylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards, a first down. They'll run on first down. Cook. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On first down, it's Cook. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Cousins on 3rd and 2. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jordan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rivers throw to the right here to Gordon. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter.
Black 15! Hey, we're pretty hot!
On 3rd down, Rivers going for the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here.
Check.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. To throw, Cousins. His throw incomplete. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
And he's going to go down again. Joey Bosa in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Hey, dude.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Melvin Ingram. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. A down 2 scores. I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it, and it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. To throw on 3rd down, Rivers. That's complete, right around the 8. 50 catches for him now on the year. He's got a 1st down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They come out here in the eye. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Rivers to throw it to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
2nd down and goal. Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now Charger kicker Mike Badgley on 4th down, coming out to try the field goal. Badgley's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
Face mask. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Phillip Rivers and his Chargers about ready to take over again. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This one away by the punter, Dar. This is taken at about the 14. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So Cousins and the Vikings down 24-14. A minute 4 on the clock. Cousins in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
It's complete to Diggs. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. One last shot now for Cousins. Now a desperation. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Desmond King picks it. And that will write a finish to this ballgame. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Good night, everybody.